Abundant Grace International School, we are located right in Obuasi, precisely BDM. The school has a number of facilities that aid in learning. We have qualified and trained teachers who are ready and willing to assist the children. The school has many facilities such as the ICT laboratory. We also have a science laboratory. We also have a library. The school has a number of buses which convey the children from their various destinations to the school premises. We have the football team, we have the drama group, we have a lot, and the school is based on the Christian principles. For more inquiries, you can call this number 0541 310 901 0541 670772. Abundant Grace, in God we trust.
Good morning to my respected students. Once again, I am grateful to be at your service. It is my prayer and hope that you're going to find my lessons interesting and that you shall subscribe to the channel and that you are going to follow me. My name is Mr. Samson Anani. I am your maths tutor. Sorry. Today, as I have promised, I am going to deal with measurement of central tendency. Measurement of central tendency. But before I go into measurement of central tendency, I would like to deal with how to prepare a frequency distribution table. How to prepare a frequency distribution table. And as soon as I am done with that, I'm going straight into measurement of central tendency. I must emphasize that this is a challenge to most students. And I am hoping that by the grace of God, I will be able to make it as simple as possible so that you understand better. In my previous lessons, I've said that statistics deals with how data is corrected. And so when you collect data, we are saying that that data you have taken is raw. In other words, you have not done anything to it. And so remember, I told you that the data can be about age of a student. It can be about a marks scored in a class. It can also be about a food that is liked by students. It can also talk about what we call it, whether they like their parent, father or mother. It can be about anything at all. And so let's go to the age distribution. So assuming that I have taken the age of 20 students, please, I'll come to this one, but let me first of all deal with one thing. Let's take ages of 20 students to be, say, so I have this distribution. And so I have collected ages of 20 of my students. Now, these are just data that students have provided. So I ask you by row. Yes, what is your age? They tell me 10. They tell 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on, until the last person tells me he or she is 15 years. And so I have collected the data. And so when we have collected this data, we can be asked to draw a frequency distribution table. So for frequency distribution table, we are talking about the number of times each of this age group appears. But for typical group frequency data, when it is raw, the data is raw, you are going to have the information that you have collected. It's information about age. Is it about height? Is it about score or marks distribution in a test? So whatever age that is given to you, you must indicate it with that. So because this is age, I am going to write here to be age. And the information is always denoted by letter X. So if it is height, or if it is age, or if it is score, you are going to indicate it as X. But because it's a raw data, you also need a tally. And so you have a tally. For a normal raw data frequency distribution table, you need a tally. And after tally, you need the number of times each of the age appears. And so you need a frequency. So this is a normal frequency distribution table. This is where your frequency distribution table ends. The normal frequency distribution table, you have your information, then you have your tally, and then you have your frequency. This is the normal distribution that you have. Now, after you have taken that normal distribution, what you need again is that you should carefully go through item by item by making a slash through the tally column. And the tally column, if you have, say, 1, 2, it should be slanted. 3, 4, the 5th one, you cross. So anytime that you see a cross tally, it signifies 5. And so I am going through the edges. But before you can go through the edges, you must look at the lower age and also look at the highest age. And so from here, my lowest age is 10, and my highest age is 15. Therefore, your age is going to range between 10 or from 10 to 15. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and finally we have 15. So quickly, I am going to go through them. And I want to do it in a horizontal way so that I may not confuse myself. So I'm going to cross out so that after I've crossed out all the 20, I know my distribution table is complete. So I have 10. I come to my tally column, I slash it there. I have 12, I come to 12, I slash it. 13, I count to 13, then I make a slash on the tally column. I count to 14, I do my 14. Then 15, I go to my 15 and put there. Then I go to my 12, I cancel it, can put it there, 10. So I'm going to repeat that. The 13, 14, 14, then I have my 10, I have my 12, I have my 13, 13, so I come to 13, 13, then I have my 15, 15, 15, so I have 1, 2, 3, then I have my 13, but check, the 13 I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, so the 5th one I simply cross out. And so the cross out shows that it is 5. Then I have 14. That one I have 4. Then 15, 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the 5th one I cross out. So eventually I write the number of strokes I have for each tally, and I'm going to write it at the frequency column. And so I'm going to have 3 for 10. 0 for 11, 3 for 12, 5 4 13, 4 4 14, and 5 4 15. After that, I have to add all of them and see that the number of frequency is equal to the number of students I have collected. So I add my 3 for 10, 0 for 11, which is still 3, then 3 for 12, that makes it 6, then 5 for my 13, that makes it 11. And so when you add all of them, 5 to this 9, then I have 14, then I have 17, and then 20. So 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11, 11 plus 4 is 15, and 15 plus 5 for the 15 is 20. And so this is the basic way you try to do your frequency table. So this is my own example. Let us go to the screen and check an example there. Let's go there and check an example there. So quickly, we said that the following is the record of max. So don't forget that this is max. And so your information is max. And so your X is going to be your max. Of 15 people in an examination. And so if you want to make a frequency table, then you are going to have your max, because it is max, and you denote it by X. Then you go to your tally. You only make a tally if it is raw, like the information given. Then you come to your frequency. And I said this is a typical frequency distribution table for a raw data. Somebody may ask, why am I not bringing my FS? Because most frequency distribution table, you have FS. You only bring FS when in the question they have asked you to find the mean of the distribution. As in II. Question II said, use your table to find the mode and the median, the mode and the mean of the distribution, the mode and the mean. But for the purposes of today's lesson, I will treat the measurement of central tendencies after this. And now I just want to take you through how to draw a normal frequency distribution table. And so when the question has not requested for mean, you do not put your FS there. You only put FS there when the demand of the question asks you to find mean. So the FS is not part of the normal frequency distribution table, except when you have been asked to find the mean for the frequency table. But today, I am not going to do it now, and that is why I am not bringing it. So let's go back. So your frequency is also denoted by letter F. So you should take note of that. Now I am going to the questions and look at the minimum max and look at the maximum max. So from the screen, you realize that the minimum is 1 and then the maximum is 6. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to list my mask from the lowest to the highest. So from 1 to 6 in that case. And so I'm going to have 1, so I have 1 to 6. So now that I have done my mask from 1 to 6 according to the mask that I have, I am now going to make my tally. And I'm going to do my tally horizontally. Or you can do it vertically, but whatever you are doing, make sure that you do it one by one so that you carefully do it without missing any number. So I'm going to go that way. So I'm starting with 2. So I make my stroke for 2. So horizontally from 2, I go to 1. Then from 1, I come to 3. If it is a normal exam, you should be crossing them out so that you know which one you have crossed out and which one you have not. So from 3, I go to 2 again. From 2, I come to 5. And from 5, I come to 4. Then from 4, I go to 3. Then from 3 to 5. From 5, I go to 4. Then 4, I go to 6. Then from 6, I come to 3. Then I go to 3 again. Then I come to 2. Finally, I have my 3, but because the 3 I can count 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th one I must cross out. And I've told you that any bundle represents 5. So the 5th bundle or the 5th stroke must always be a cross out. Then from 3 I come to 3 again. Now when I'm done, what I'm going to do is that I am going to write the frequency for each of the strokes I've made under the tally column. Don't forget that frequency tells you the number of times an event occurs. And so here I'm going to get 1. Carefully. Then I have 3 for 2. Then I have 6 for 3. Sorry, the 2 is 3. We have 1, 2, 3. So the 2, we put 3 there. Then the 4, we have 2. Then the 5, 2, we have 2. Then finally 6, we have 1. When we are done, you have to sum up all the frequency and find out whether they are equal to the information that was given to you. The information that was given was that it is a record of marks of 15 people. So your final frequency must always be equal to the number of data that was presented to you. So we are going to add, and when you are going to sum, you use your sigma. This sigma simply means addition. And we are going to add your F. So you have summation of your frequency. And carefully you should get 15. So this 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. And 14 plus 1 is 15. And so this is how your frequency distribution table, normal frequency distribution table will look like as far as your raw data is concerned. I hope it has been very helpful to you. Now I am going to measurement of central tendency. Measurement of central tendency. And the measures of central tendency, what does it mean? When we are talking about measures of central tendency, we are saying that they are the averages of the frequency distribution. They are the averages of the frequency distribution. And these averages are the mean, the mode, and the median. And so we are going to deal with the mean, the mode, and the median. But once I would ask you the measures of central tendency, we are saying that they are the averages. The average simply means the middle numbers of the mean, the mode, and the median. That 3 are the central tendencies that we are going to talk about. But for the beginning, I am going to deal with the mean. And the mean, I am going to deal with 2 types. Please take it from the screen for me. Take it from the screen for me, the questions. When we talk about the mean, we can find the mean from a raw data or you can find the mean from a frequency table. And so you should know when you are finding the raw data, or finding the mean on the raw data, and when you are finding the mean on the frequency table. But by the time I am done with my lesson, I'll try as much as possible to do the two, if not today, in our next meeting. But today I want to do the mean for the raw data, the mode for the raw data, and then the median for the raw data. And probably in my next lesson, when I have updated you, I am going to do the frequency one. Now, so let's go back to the screen. And so I'm going to deal with the raw, how to find the mode, the mean, and the median from the frequency distribution table. So we are saying that the mean of a set of numbers. So your set of numbers can be S1, S2, S3, up to say Xn, where the S1 can be say 10, S2 can be say 12, S3 can be any number. We are only saying that these S are the data that you are collecting. If you're asking students to mention mask, it will be S1, the first student will be S1, the second student will be S2, up to Sn. The Sn means the last person that you're going to collect the information on. And so when you have that, and then you want to find the mean, and the mean is denoted by S bar. Anytime that you see S bar, we say that it is the mean. And so the S bar is going to be your summation of, put it on the screen for me. It's going to be the summation of, X over N. So when we say summation of X over N, we are talking about mean being equal to summation of S1 plus S2 plus S3 plus Xn, all divided by N, where S1, S2, S3, and Sn are the number of information that you have collected. And so let's go and take a question. Let's go and take a question. So on the screen, we are saying that, no, the first question, the first one that you put on. Very good. Said find the mean of the following set of numbers. So we have a mean of the following set of numbers. So we are going to find our X bar. And I is 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4. So these are your data. 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4. So quickly, you have to add all these. And then after that, you divide it. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your number of N equals to 6. So you are going to add all the numbers that was given. Let me quickly write these numbers so that it can be taken from the board. So you have 2, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So quickly you can take it from the board. So these are the information that was given. And if you want to find the mean, you are only going to add all these 6 together and divide it by your number of items. And the number of items is 6, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so we are going to have 0 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and finally plus 6. After that, you divide everything by your number of N. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And your answer is going to be your mean. And so from here, your 0 plus 2 is 2, plus 3 is 5, plus 4 is 9, plus 5 is 14, and plus 6 is 20. So finally, you have your 20 for number of S1 to Sn divided by your 6. So from here, you know that 2 go here, 3. 2 go here, 10. And so finally, when you reduce it, you have 10 out of 3. And so, because it is an average or mean, you must not leave your answer in a fractional form. So you see that 3 can go into 10, 3, remainder 1. So you bring your point, you add 0 to your 1, that makes it 10 again, and so you're going to have another 3. And it will be reoccurring. And so finally, we leave our answer as 3.33 as the mean. We leave our answer as 3.33. That is for I. Let's go to the II. Let's go to the II. So quickly, let me write the numbers. So we have 3. Now, I hope you have taken note of the III because it is an assignment, a work that you're going to do for me. So I'm always going to do the II, then the III, you have to do it, and then you shall provide the answer to me later. And so let me do the III quickly. And so for the III, we are also going to add all the data, and then we are going to divide. We are going to divide the data by the number of n, and the n are the individual items. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once again, our n is 6. Our n is always not 6. This is just a coincidence. Now the first one n is 6 and the second one n is 6. And do not think that anytime you have a raw data and you want to find the mean, n will be 6. No, it is only a coincidence that the 2 examples, our n is 6. So you should take note. So I'm going to add all the numbers, and then I am going to divide it by 6. And so I'm going to have my mean to be 3 plus 9 plus 11 plus 28 plus 37, and finally we have plus 20. And I'm going to divide all of them by 6. Now I'm going to add them. If I put 9 and 11 together, I have 20. If I also put 7 and 3 together, I also have 40. And 40 plus 20, I am going to have 60. So finally, I have this and that. And then I have this. So I have 20, I have 40, so I have 60, I have 80, and so I have 108. So if I put all of them together, my mean is going to be 108 divided by 6. You can take your time and go through it again. I said I'm putting this 3 and the 37 together to get 40. I am putting my 9 and 11 together is 20. So my 9, my 3, my 11, and my 37 gives me 60. And 60 plus my 20 is 80. And 80 plus 28 is 108. And if I divide it by 6, you know that 2 can go into this one, 54. And it will go here, 3. Then finally, if you take your time and do it, 3 will go into 5, 1. Remainder 2. So if I put my 2 here, it will make it 24. And 3 will go into 24, 8. So finally, my mean becomes 8. And so you have the mean to be 18. You have your mean to be 18. And so if you add all these things and you divide it, then the average mean is 18. And so this is the first part. This is the first part. I hope you are getting it. And so the third one, which is the I, you simply add all the numbers, that is 3444, 5889, and you divide it this time around by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this time you see it's not 6. This time it is 8. And so this one you do it, and then you confirm whether or not you have understood it better. Now, some cases, the question is not going to be like this. They are going to form it in another way, but you have to use the same procedure to find it. Let's take another example. Now, they say that the average of 5 numbers, don't forget that we are talking about 5 numbers. So if you are talking about 5 numbers, it means that our n is equals to 5. Our n is equals to 5. Let me bring it down. Our n equals to 5. Because it says that the average of 5 numbers. And so these are the 5 numbers. We have 4, 10, 24, X, and we were given 16. And say that when you add all these numbers, the average is going to be 13. The average is going to be 13. The question says that the average of 5 numbers, 4, 10, 24, X, and 16 is 13. And you are supposed to find the value of S. But we have told you that for you to get an average, you add S1, S2 to Sn. Then you divide it by the total number of n. That is going to give you the average. And so before they get the average of 13, they have added the 4 plus 10 plus 24 plus X plus 16. And they have divided the 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, by the number of n. And they said their answer is 13. So you put that when you divide all these things, all the individual numbers, S1 to Sn, by 5, your answer is 13. So this is your equation. This is your equation. Now, you are going to now add them. So we have 4 plus 16 is 20. 20 plus 24 is 44. And 44 plus 10 is 54. So we are going to get 54 plus X divided by 5 is going to give you 13. And so now, you must understand that you cannot add a variable to a whole number because they are not like terms. And so don't add it and say 54x. You can multiply a variable and a whole number, but not add it. So you should take note of that. And so from here, because it's an equation, I am going to multiply 3 by 5. But if I multiply 3 by 5, this 5 will nullify this 5. And so we only have 54 plus X being equal to 13 by 5. Because this 5 will nullify the 5 if I multiply it there. And so finally we are going to get 54 plus X is equals to 5 times 3 is 15. So 5 remainder 1. And then 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 1 is 6. It means that if you multiply 13 by 5, our answer is 65. Now we are going to make X the subject. And so we are going to group like terms. And so grouping like terms, we are going to get our S being equal to our S being equal to 65 minus 54. And so that is what we have. And if you subtract 65 from 54 from 65, then you are going to get 11. You are going to get 11. Therefore, the value of x is 11. Now, why this question? This question, when I have solved the first one, you realize that they are giving you all the data and they have asked you to find the mean, which is denoted by S bar. Which is denoted by S bar, as I have said earlier. But this time around, they have calculated the mean for you. Then they have removed one of the information and they're asking you to find that information. And so you need to go through this process to locate it. Let's take another example. Now they say that the marks scored by 4 students in a mathematics test are as follows. AC with 92, Seth 85, Mary is 65, and Efe is X. So write down an expression for the mean average of the mask. But if you look at it, there are 4 people. Therefore, our n will be 4. And then the values they have given us is 90, 92, 85, 65, and S. So you can take it from the screen. And so it said that we should write the expression for the mean as I. And for you to get an expression for mean, you are going to add all the S1, S2, S3, and Sn, and divide it by your number of n, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So your I is going to be 92 plus 85 plus 65, and then plus x. Plus x. Then you are going to divide it by your n. So the expression for mean, you divide it by 4. You divide it by 4. So this is what you have. And this is I. They are only asking you to write an expression. So write down an expression for the mean or average of the mass. So this is going to be your I. Now let us go to II. II says that if the mean is less than 80, write down a linear inequality for the information. If the mean is less than 80. Now, when you talk about inequality, it is any mathematical statement that involves less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So anytime that you see any mathematical statement that involve any of these symbols, then we are talking about inequality. And so the II says that this is the mean, and said that the mean is less than 80. The mean is less than 80. And so the II said we should write another expression for inequality if this mean. Don't forget that this I is your mean. And he said the mean is going to be less than 80. So we are going to II. And we are going to rewrite our II as 92 plus 85 plus 65 plus x, all divided by 4. And say that this expression is less than 80. And so this is for II. So put it back on the screen for me. So for II, he said if the mean is less than 80, write down a linear inequality for the information. So we are done with II. They have not said we should do anything. They are only asking us to find the linear inequality for the information, and that is what you've done. So we go to III. Find the possible marks if it's scored in the test. Find the possible marks if it's scored in the test. Find the possible marks if it's scored in the test. And so we are going to do that. So you take it from the screen. So we are going to do that. And so we go to III. We are going to add all this. And so to add this, we are going to get 92, 85, 65, and we are going to add them. If you add this, this is 10, so we have 12, 2, remainder 1. We add the 1 to this, 10, 18, 24. So we have 2, 4, 2 for 92, 85, and 65. So we are going to get 242 plus our x, all divided by 4, and our answer is, we are dealing with inequalities. So our answer is less than 80. Our answer is less than 80. But we are finding the possible values for x. And so I'm going to continue from the top here. The inequalities are just the same as how you solve equations. That is why in my first tutorials, I have said that equations and inequalities, they are almost twins. And I'm going to deal that two topics the same time when I'm dealing with the inequalities and linear equation. And so I am going to also multiply through by the LCM, which is 4. And so I'm going to, if I multiply this by 4, the 4 will take away the 4. And so I am going to get 242 plus x. 242 plus x then equal is less than 80 by 4. Now, when I multiply 80 by 4, I am going to get 320. So we have 242 plus x is less than, this is 0, and this is 32. So I have 320. Then I make x the subject. So I'm going to get x is less than 320 minus 242. And so finally, my s is going to be less than, this will be 8. And then now this will be 11. So that will be 7. So finally, I have 78. I'm going to get 78. And so my 78 is going to be for my x. So x is less than 78. X is less than 78. X is less than 78. And so say that write all the possible numbers of x that FA can score. So if s is less than 78, any number that is smaller than 78 is going to be your value for x. So it can be 77, it can be 76, it can be 74, up to say 0, because it can be anything since x is less than 78. And that is going to be for III. For III. So for inequalities, III and III, that is how we do it. Now we move on to the next question. Now, you can try many questions as possible. And so you find new textbooks and you try many questions. We are now going to the mode And so we are going to mode. The mode for raw data. You can take it from the screen for me. Now, when we say mode, mode is simply the highest frequency. Mode is simply the highest frequency. For raw data, we are not talking about the biggest number, but we are talking about the number that appears most. That is mode. And so if I have a raw data that I have collected, say for 10 students, and I recorded the marks for the 10 students as now, so I have a marks that I've collected from 10 students, and I assume that the total marks is 5. And so one person scored 5. We have 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. And so you are asked to find the mode. You are asked to find the mode. And I'm saying that the mode is the highest frequency. By highest frequency, we are talking about the number that appeared most, and not the biggest number, the number that appeared most. And so we are counting the various numbers. 5 appeared 1, 4 appeared 1, 3 appeared 1, 2 appeared 3, and then 4 appeared 4 times. So which number appeared most of the times? And the answer is 1. And because 1 is the number that is appearing most, then 1 becomes our mode for the raw data. So our mode is equal to 1. So you discover that for raw data, the mode is not the number that is the biggest, but the one that is appearing most of the time. And that is what we call mode. And so when I give you another one, saying now, if I give you this data and I ask you to find the mode, I said the mode is the number of numbers that appeared, the numbers that appears most is called the mode. And so for mode, we are going to have 2, 4, 4, 3, 3, 1, 0. So you see 2 appearing once, 4 appearing twice, 3 appearing twice, 1 appearing once, and 0 appearing once. And we are asked to find the mode. So you realize that the mode is 4 and 3, or 3 and 4. Because 3 is appearing twice and 4 is appearing twice. And so you write the mode as 3 and 4. Mode is equal to 3 and 4. Why have I brought this example? I want to tell you that for mode, you can have more than a number. Sometimes you can have 2 numbers appearing at the same time. And so if 2 numbers appear the same number of highest time, we call it bimodal. We call it bimodal. So bimodal is 2 mode or 2 numbers that are appearing at the highest number of times. So it is not always the case that you are going to have a single mode. Sometimes you have mode that are 2. And so when you see it, it is not wrong. You must pick them because we also have bimodal. You can even have more than 2 mode, and so you should write them. And so don't be confused and go to the examiner or go to whoever gave you the question as having given you a wrong one. because mode can be more than once. So for mode, it is not challenging at all. And so I am quickly going to go into the median. I am going to go to the median. Don't forget that my measurement of central tendency today is basically based on the raw data. It's basically based on the raw data. Next time on meet, I am going to take the frequency table that you have drawn, and we are going to find the mode, the mean, and the median from there. And that is when we are going to do that. And so we are going to look at the median. We are going to look at the median. And so when we say median, we are simply talking about the middle number. We are talking about a middle number after the number has been arranged from the smallest to the highest, or from the highest to the smallest. From the smallest to the highest, or from the highest to the smallest, or after the numbers has been arranged in either ascending order of magnitude or descending order of magnitude, respectively. And so let's consider numbers like 1, 2. So let us consider these numbers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so let me put another one, 6. Now we have these numbers. And then it comes and they ask you to find the median. Don't forget, I have just said that the median is simply the middle number. But you can only pick a middle number when you have rearranged. Now, because it is odd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you pick 4 to the right, 4 to the left, your middle number is 5. And if you are going to pick the middle number as 5, the possibility that you are going to get it wrong is high. The possibility that you are going to get the median wrong is high. The only certainty to get this correct is when you have arranged these numbers in either ascending order or descending order. So I am going to rearrange it in ascending order. And so for ascending order, I'm going to arrange it from the lowest to the highest. So I'm going to get 1, 2, so now I have arranged it. When we have rearranged it, it is the correct way to get the median without getting it wrong. So if I want the middle number, I'm going to count, because it is 9, the middle number is going to be your 5th term. So we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 5. At 5, because it is just a coincidence that whether we arrange or rearrange, we can have it. There can be a situation where the 5 will be here, the 5 will be here, and the 2 will be there. In that case, if you pick the 2 as your median without rearranging, then you realize that the answer being 5, you are going to select 2. So it is just a coincidence that the 5 came here. But if you don't rearrange it, it can even be that the 9 will come here, and I'm going to pick the 9 as your middle number. So you must rearrange before you pick your median. Now, if you want to do this, the correct way to find your median is to use a formula. And what is the formula? The formula, you have 2. one of them being the formula for odd, and one of them being the formula for even. And so if you count your number of n, your number of n is just the number of data you have. So here I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so my number of n is equal to 9. And 9 is an odd number. The last time I took you through odd numbers. Because 9 is an odd number, then the formula for finding the median is going to be half of n plus 1. Sorry. Half of n plus 1. And this half of n plus 1 is not the median. It is only going to tell you the position of the median. When you use half n plus 1, it will only tell you where to locate your middle number. And so if I want to substitute into the formula, our n is 9. So we are going to have half of 9 plus 1. And I told you it will only tell you the position. And so we are going to have half 9 plus 1 is 10. So we have the 10th position. And half of 10 is going to give you 5. Now, this 5 tells you that the median is lying on the 5th position. So you are going to count from the first data to the 5th position after you have arranged your number in either ascending or descending order of magnitude. And so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and once again, it is lying on the 5th position. And so this is the surest way to locate your middle number. Let's take another example for odd. So we have a data 4, 2, 1, 5, and 4. And we are asked to find the median, which is the middle number. And for you to find the median, the first thing to do is either arrange the number in ascending or descending order. Because I arranged the first one in ascending order, I'm going to arrange this one in descending order. So for descending order, I'm going to have 5, 4, 4, 1, and 2. 5, 4, 4, 1, and 2. So I have arranged it. Then I count my n. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my number of n is equals to 5. And you know that 5 is an odd number. And so for odd number, to get my middle number, I'm going to get half of n plus 1. And this is half of n plus 1 will only tell me the position of the middle number. The position of the middle number. And so, sorry. Finally, I'm going to put my half. My n is 5 plus 1 to tell me the position. Then this is going to give me half of 5 plus 1 is 6. Position. And half of 6 is 10. It means that the middle number is lying on the 3rd position. The middle number is lying on the 3rd position. So I go to my number and I count up to the 3rd position. So I have 1, I have 2, so this is my 3rd position. And the 3rd position, the number there is 4. Therefore, I write that my median is equals to 4. So that is how we find a median on the raw data when your n is odd. Let us end today with the when it is even. Let us end with when it is even. So quickly, let me wrap up with that. So let me add 1 to this. The same example, let me add 1 to it. So that if I add 1 to it, my number will be 6. My n will be 6. And so when I have arranged it, let me rearrange it in ascending order. So in ascending order, I'm going to get 1, 1, 4, 4, 2, and 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if it is even, like this, and you want to use a formula, then you're going to have half of n position. So you have half of n. And so your half of n is going to be 6. And your answer is going to be the third position. But because it is the even, it is the position plus the next position divided by 2. So when you get your position, you must always add it to the next position. And the next position of third is 4th. And you are going to divide it by 2. Now, what is your third position? You go there, you pick 1, 2, 3. Your third position is 4. So you write it. And now, what is your fourth position? It is also 4. So you add it. After that, you divide it by 2. 4 plus 4 gives 8. And 8 divided by 2, then your median, if I put my answer on the top, my median will be equal to 4. So that's how we find median. Let's take a question, the first question on the board. The first one that we used to draw, the first one we use on the measurement of central tendency, and let's use that one to wrap up. The first one on the measurement of central tendency, the one we used to find the mean. The one we used to find the mean, the measurement of central tendency. Quickly. Very good. So let us assume that we want to find the median for the I. And so for I, we are having 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4. So take it from the screen. Thank you. This is what we have. And now when we counted, it was 6. That is why I am interested in that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we want to find the median. The median. When we want to find the median, I said arrange them in order of magnitude. So if I want to arrange it in ascending order, I am going to get 0, 2, 3, 4, 4, and 5. And that is going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I count into 6, that is going to be my n. So my n is 6. Now that I've got my n to be 6, and I've arranged my number in order of magnitude, I am going to use half of n. Don't forget that we only add 1 to the n only when the number is odd. But because it is even, I am going to get half of, this is only the position. So half of 6 position. And once again, my half of 6 is third. So I have my third. And I've told you that because it is odd, because it is even, 6 is an even number. Because it is even, you have to add the next position to it. And then you divide it by 2. So you go to where you have arranged your numbers. So the third position is 013. Sorry, 023. So the third position is 3, and then your fourth position is 4. And so you're going to put 3 and 4 together, divide your answer by 2. And 3 plus 4 is 7, and if you divide 7 by 2, you are going to get your answer to be 3.5. It means that the median is lying between 3 and 4, so they are lying somewhere here. And so that is going to be it for today. I hope you have enjoyed my lesson today. I could have gone to the frequency table, but I do not want to, as it were, load you. Do all the work that I've done with you once again. Draw the frequency table, write some raw data, find the mode, the mean and the median, calculate the median and reverse where you use, the mean, you find the mean, you clean one of the numbers, then you go and find the number and equate it after you have equated it to your mean. May the COVID-19 pass, protect yourself, stay safe, continue to follow me, and subscribe to the channel. We shall meet, God willing, on Wednesday. We are going to meet again, God willing, on Wednesday. Have a blessed day. Our next lesson is coming, and so you wait for it. May God bless you and have a good day.
Abundant Grace International School, we are located right in Obuasi, precisely BDM. The school has a number of facilities that aid in learning. We have qualified and trained teachers who are ready and willing to assist the children. The school has many facilities such as the ICT laboratory. We also have a science laboratory. We also have a library. The school has a number of buses which convey the children from their various destinations to the school premises. We have the football team, we have the drama group, we have a lot, and the school is based on the Christian principles. For more inquiries, you can call this number 0541 310 901 0541 670772. Abundant Grace, in God we trust.